Sir Resty?
Yes, Miss Susan.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, yung username, my email address, right?
Your MC Outlook email
Okay,
address, Miss Susan. Thank you.
yeah. And then the password, the same.
It's the one that I sent yesterday po. It's
Okay.
Miriam at 2026.
Sorry, I didn't receive it. Miriam at 2026. Okay,
2026.
20. Thank you.
Okay na po, Miss
Yeah,
Susan.
thank you. Got it.
Thank you
Thank you.
po. Yes po. You mentioned po you didn't receive the email. I sent it to your MC email po yesterday. You were included in the email po.
Okay. I will
Thank
check
you.
now. Thank you.
Okay na, sir.
Thank you very much. Ayan. Sige. So right now there are 16 um, hands raised. So thank you for confirming that you were able to access your account, and hopefully we can now begin. Marami pong salamat for arriving on time. And once again, I'd like to inform everyone that this session is being recorded for documentation purposes only. All images visible to the camera of your device and all sounds audible to the microphone of your device will be part of our recording, most especially when you speak. May I invite everyone to put ourselves in a prayerful disposition, and all together, let's say, in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Spirit, Amen. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to learn about this new technology that we will be using for our enrollment process. Help us patient with the technology as we learn something new, and hopefully this technology will be able to um, speed up the process of enrollment, all for the benefit of our beloved students. These things we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Miriam of Nazareth, teach us your ways and lead us to Jesus. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Kumusta po kayo? Please turn on your microphone briefly and your cameras briefly as well to say good morning to everyone.
Good morning,
Morning,
everyone.
everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year.
Good morning.
Morning.
So now we were able to test that your microphone is working, your cameras are working. Ayan. And please don't forget to mute your microphone once again. Thank you, Miss Mian. Miss Mitch, magandang umaga po. Ayan. Just to check in, today is the first Wednesday of the year. Can you please describe in the chat box the best shape that describes the first Wednesday of the year? Your first Wednesday of the year. Okay? What shape best describes this Wednesday? Okay, you have 30 seconds to type your answer in the chat box. Thank you very much for your responses. So we have some hexagons, ang dami namang corners ito, zigzags, rectangles, a straight line, Miss Lorna, a circle from Miss Mitch, a decagon, so that's like 10 sides, octagon, that would be 8. Paramihan ba ng sides to? Well, yung circle or round, syempre, infinite number of lines. Blob shape. Mine would be wavy curls. So, like a wave kasi, wave of emotion. So maraming salamat for checking in. So just a review, Camu is an enterprise level software that we will be using to manage the journey of our students in our school. So from admissions to registration to the enrollment process to when we assess them and they stay with us, the learning process to promoting them until they graduate and finally to declaring whether they are cleared or not. So today we will be only focusing on the process that is related to their enrollment. So looking forward, what's happening this semester in relation to us faculty members, we will be using Camu for adding or dropping of subjects and approving their enrollment for irregular students. Okay. There will be another session on March 2, but that will be on the submission of grades naman because we will be using Camu to submit the grades as well. So at the end of this workshop, you should be able to answer 3 questions. The first one is, how do I access my Camu account? And some of you were able to answer this already because you were able to confirm that you were able to log in to your account. The second question is, as a chairperson, or that there's a correction here, as a chairperson, what steps do I follow to process students' application for adding or dropping subjects and enrollment? This is only for irregular students. So, are there any questions so far? Before I begin, are there any questions so far? If there are no questions, please give me a thumbs down. Okay. And just like before, all questions are urgent questions, so that we will avoid, all the errors from stacking up. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand immediately and unmute your microphone so we can address your question. Yeah, let's begin with the first feature of Camu that we will be using, and this is for adding or dropping courses. This is where students themselves initiate the process and they add or drop subjects. They apply for a course to be added or dropped to their list. So first, the student files a request using their Camu account. There's a different URL for them. It's student.mc.edu.ph. That's different from the one that we will be using, which is staff.mc.edu.ph. After they filed a request, a staff from RAW receives that request and checks the request for veracity, correctness. If the form is incorrect, then it will be rejected and the application is sent back to the student for revision. However, if the application is correct, it will then be forwarded to you, the chairperson, and then the chairperson will receive that request. You will now check the request. If it is incorrect, you will reject the application, and that will be the end of the application for the student. It's the end of cycle. So the student should file another request. But if the student's application is correct, then you will approve it, and that also ends the journey of the application process, and there's no further action is required from your end or from the part of the student. So we will be discussing this green zone here, okay, where we are concerned as chairpersons. So how do we do that? The beauty of Camu is that students are aware of the progress of their application. So the moment they submit something, or the moment RAW receives it, or the moment you approve it or reject it, the student is notified. So they have this, they can see the status of their application, including all the timestamps and the timestamps and the decision, whether it's approved or rejected. Okay. So you can also tell your students to keep themselves updated by always referring to their Camu account to check the progress of their application. So what do you need during enrollment? Please make sure that you have the schedule, so you are aware of the available courses, the course offerings during the semester, the program of study of the courses under you that you are supervising, and the profile of students. So you also can advise them or give the correct decision whether to approve or reject their application. So let's go straight to it. Adding or dropping subjects. This will be the procedure. Please take a screenshot after I've listed down all the procedure para you can dictate the procedure to me. So hopefully I can call on someone to dictate the procedure to me. Sige. First, you need to log in to your Kamu account. The URL is in the chat box. Once again, it's staff.mc.edu.ph. And then you click on services, service requests. Okay. I will just show you the procedure, but we will demonstrate later. Okay. In the window, click My List. Click the ellipsis button. The ellipsis button is what we call the details button. Review the details of the application, and you make a decision whether to approve or reject. Make sure to place a comment, and let's try it out. So now you can take a screenshot of this slide, and then I'd like to ask someone to dictate the steps to me when I show it on screen.
So, Resty, I just have a question, a quick question.
Yes, po.
For adding subject, kasi parang minsan overload na siya ng bata, di ba? There is a form that we submit to the registrar. So, for them to approve the request of the student. So, how is it in relation to this one?
Thank you for your question, Ms. Indo. Can we have someone from RAW answer the question?
Hi, Dr. Resty. This is Marie, no? You are presenting the adding or dropping of courses, but per discussion with the ICTO and CAMU, there's a list of service requests, and the question of Miss Indo is included there. That is for tutorials and the overload. So, but I'm not sure if this will be presented today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marika. Ms. Indo?
Okay, thank you. I think we'll just have to navigate as we proceed with the use of Kano.
Thank you, Ms. Indo. Sige. Ms. Indo, are you using 2 devices?
No, just one.
Just one. Sino pong may dalawang devices? Sir Mon? Just one. Okay, sige. Okay. See, I'd like to talk to sino kaya? I'd like to talk to Miss Leia. Hi, Doc Leia.
Hi po. Dalawa po. Nasa cellphone ako ngayon sa'yo, and then I'm on my laptop looking
Sige po.
at them.
Sige. Doc Leia, can you dictate to me the procedure, and then I will show or demonstrate how it is done here in Cap.
Actually, naka-login na ako dun sa Kamo. And then,
Ayun, perfect.
dun sa services, merong lalabas na service requests. And then, in my, dito sa akin, sa portal ko, lumabas yung raised by others, raised by me, tapos open. There are 6 requests here.
Thank you.
So, yung
Thank you, Doc Leia.
una,
Advance ka
may
na, Doc Leia, ha?
Hindi,
Advance
nakita
ka-
ko lang, binabasa ko lang yung nakikita.
Tama po.
May
You're
request
following the
number
correct step.
12, 7980,
Yes. Thank you, Doc
BSSE.
Leia.
Tama ba yun? Yun,
Tama
di
po.
ba? Okay.
We actually prepared ICTO and ITSM, prepared dummy data for you to approve or reject, but
Okay.
however you like it. So, sige po, everyone, please focus on the screen. This is how the process looks like. So, for adding or dropping subjects, you go to, once logged in, you will see this, the left panel of Kamu here, and you should go to services. For some of you, you need to scroll down. You go to services, and then scroll down. you will see service requests. Okay, you click that, and then this window will appear.
Yes po.
Thank you, Doc Leia. Sige po. And then you need to click yung My List, this one on top, the tab which says My List. You click that, and then all the relevant applications that you can approve or reject will appear here. So in my case, there are 3 dummy students here that I can approve or reject. So what you need to do next is click the ellipsis button, which we call the details button. It's right here. Click that, and then click details, and then it will take you to the information of the application. Yan. The request number, category, etc. And what's the application about? Is it the reason for request, and ayun. Is it adding or dropping? And then the reason for request. So what you can do next is, after reading all the information, you need to decide whether to reject it by clicking mark as invalid, or to approve it by clicking the approve button. Okay, so for this example, I'm going to approve it, and then I will put a remark, all information or pieces of information. Right, correct. If you're OC, but you can just say approve. Okay, if you want to attach like any files, if there's something to attach, then you can just use this upload button. But for this instance, I'm just going to press put approved as a remark, and then press save. After you do that, the form is, the application is already approved, and it goes back to the student. Okay. My question is, yes, Miss Charlie.
Sir, if the student adds several courses, they need to create a request for each course, or sama-sama na yung lalabas dyan?
Anyone from ITSM or IPTO who can answer that? Yes, sir, Kador Gia.
Hi, Sir Esty. Good morning. This is Dan. So, ma'am, to answer your question po, so we have already provided provisions for multiple subjects. So, Esty, can you scroll down the screen so that we can see the form? Yeah. So, in the form, ma'am, there are already provisions for adding, dropping, and changing of the schedule. So, if there would be multiple subjects that are being requested, they can indicate those in the fields provided.
Saan?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you as well. Back to you, Sir Leslie. Thank you.
Sir Rest, I have a question again.
Yes po.
So when you,
Dr. Darren po.
the students will have to submit pa rin ba the paper form that will be approved by the registrar, or they do it directly to PB?
Morning po.
Morning, Carmi. I think Carmi can answer that question. Carmi, can you answer Miss Indo's question?
Sorry, Dr. Resi, I wasn't able to hear that one. Can you repeat it po? Thank you.
Okay, so Carmi, the students, they submit the yellow form, the blue form for the adding, dropping, overload, tutorial requests, and all of that. So when we use CAMU, will the student needs to submit again the forms, and then the registrar will approve it first? How will it work?
Bale, ma'am, we will no longer use the blue, yellow, and pink form since we already have the panel. So this forms po will only be available for our alumna or walk-in applicants na lang po. Even yung mga request po na, yung mga students po na doesn't have yet the panel portal or ID, ito muna po yung gagamitin nila. Pero since most of our students have their already have their login credentials na, they can use the common services na po. Thank you po.
Ah, okay. So kunwari yesterday, nag-submit sila ng blue form. Hindi na siya valid. So I will just ask them to do it online.
Yes, ma'am. Bali po, we already have the forms, and then
Yes.
I advise the register staff to take down the information or the contact information of those students who already submitted the form, enable for us to contact them and inform them about on how they will use the CAMO service request.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Indo and Parmi. So just to, if I understand it correctly, all paperworks like the blue form, etc., will not be used anymore.
Yes, Dr. Resty, that's correct.
Thank you, Ms. Marical. And all students who submitted those forms will be, their contact information was collected by the RAW staff, and they will be contacted by RAW so that they can be advised that the process will all be online.
Just some clarification there, Dr. Resty, for those, like for example, for Miss Indo to inform us, because we will not be able to contact the students unless there is prior information from the chairpersons. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marical, for the clarification. Ms. April, you're raising your hand.
Hi, good morning. I just want to ask if we get like email notifications if ever there are requests, or do we need to regularly, open our CAMO to check?
Okay. ICTO or ITSM, will there be email notifications for all applications forwarded to the chairs?
Hi, Sir Rusty. Again, si Jan po. Good morning, ma'am. So, yes, there will be email notifications that will be sent out to you. So, we are just configuring, ma'am, email notifications that, or the email communication service that will be used to send out those notifications to you. So, yun, ma'am. There will be notifications on your end, ma'am.
Thank you, Jan, for confirming. Doc Gail.
Hi. When we open our account, that is account unique to us, no? So does that mean that RTAs will not receive the same? Therefore, if the action parang needs their assistance, we have to share our credentials with them?
Anyone from ICTO?
Yeah. Can I ask you?
Yes, Jan.
So on the side of CAMO, hi ma'am, good morning. So yes, so the service request or the request that will be coming in from the students are directly mapped to your accounts, and those will not be shared with your with other coordinators. No, it is specific to your account itself. So right now po ganun yung configuration niya, no? So if ever that there's a need for you to for your staff to, or for your other members to be included as part of the process, that can be one consideration, ma'am, to share the login credentials. But I would also defer to the ICTOP for any data privacy related concerns regarding this particular matter.
Thank you, Jan.
Hi, Ray.
Ms. Jess.
Sir Resty, just to provide the follow-up information on that one. Of course, ICTO policy does not allow sharing of credentials. So what I suggest is that if the information needs to be shared with any of the TAs or other staff members, the email can be copied and just sent through the regular email channel to the appropriate staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jess. Doc Gail, okay na po yung sagot.
Okay naman, but we just need to really run through to see the implications of that, because sometimes it's the chair is not able to see and yung parang the whole picture of what the students have. But sige, we'll try this.
Thank you, Doc Hill. Sir James.
Hello, good morning again. Nag-try lang akong mag-approve dun sa request, and I'm looking into yung summary sana, yung mga approve requests. Meron bang ganun?
Sir Jan from ITSM, where can we see the summary of all the requests approved by the chair?
Approve or decline kung meron man.
Currently, sir, hold on, sir, ha? Let me think through this. Okay about that. Let me just check muna, sir, before I provide my answer po, ha? Hold on. Stop one second. Yeah. So currently, sir, we currently don't have any reports that would be able to give you a summary of what you have up or what are the requests that have been approved or rejected at that point. So at the point of doing the action or providing the action, no, whether approving or rejecting, yeah. Hold on, sorry. One more. Service request.
Yeah, there's a service status. It says here it's approved and closed by, of course, yung may-ari ng account. But yung listahan yung wala yung ano, di ba? Kung ano yung mga na-approve na requests.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking into that lang, sir. Hold on. Sir, ayan. What we have, sir, we have a report called a student service report. Right now, what it does is it generates the entire, you can generate the entire list of all of the services that have been submitted. And there you would also be able to see the approval status as well, whether it was approved or whether it was rejected or whether it's still in progress, no, or if it has already been completed or not. So we have that kind of report available in the system as well. So I guess what we can will provide you with a guide na lang din as well, sir, in terms of how that report would look like and how you would be able to generate that report as well. Hope that is okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jan. Sir James, we will update you on that request if we can create a report on which students or which applications have already done action. Thank you, Sir James. Ms. Indo, yes.
Okay, so hello again. I think this is for Miss Marie ulit. So Miss Marie, we could only see the request kapag nakapag-register na po yung mga bata. Di ba po kasi yung adding, dropping, overload, tutorial is upon initial enrollment. Is it the same po ba?
Yes, Miss Indo.
Okay. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Indo. Ms. Lorna has a question. Is mark as invalid same as reject? Yes po, it's the same as rejecting the application. I think someone is, Doc Olive, yes.
Hi, Dr. ST. I have two questions. So, the first one, will the system be ready by this afternoon? Because I'm planning to start with the online advisement later in the afternoon. So, that's one. And then the second one is, kasi essentially, parang with the grad students, we're treating them like irregulars because they don't, parang kumbaga, in the past, I would have to individually encode the subjects that they will take per semester. So I'm wondering, with this new format, essentially parang it'll just appear as add subject for each of the students. Like for one student, naka-add yung subjects for all the courses that he or she will take for that semester. And to add to that, will the students also have training in terms of encoding or making use of CAMU? Kasi baka lang magulo later kapag mag-advisement na. So those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc Olive. I think that those questions can be answered by Rao and Ikto as well. So anyone po from Rao or Ikto?
Yes, Dr.
Hi,
Resty.
Dr. Olive. Yun ako, ma'am.
Go
Ms.
ahead,
Marcal.
Carms. Go ahead, Carms.
Thank you, Ms. Marie. Back to you already discussed this one po yesterday with the CAMU and the ICTO team po. All GP students po will be tagged as irregular. So the process would be just the same po sa UG. They need to add their courses. They need to enlist their courses to be taken for the semester, and then you will be approving the courses po. Regarding po the advisement po, so the advising po is generally will be an internal communication na lang po between the student and the program sir po. Thank you po.
And then
And
there's
to add,
another question.
And to add to that, for the video, we are finalizing the video that we are targeting to give it to the students today, if once everything is okay after this meeting, Dr. Resty. So I think that can also be shared to the faculty so that they will be guided on how to navigate the new system. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marika. So once again from Carmi, all GP students will be tagged as irregulars. So they need to add the courses they wish to enroll in. Is that correct, Carmi?
Yes, Doc. Thank you po.
And then we will, thank you, Carmi, for confirming. And then I will be discussing later how to use CAMU to approve those courses to be enrolled by irregular students. Okay. Question, dito po muna tayo sa chat box, no? Question from Reg. Sir Rusty, do we need to click complete to close the service request? So, Jan from IPSM, that's correct, right? We need to press the, what do you call this? The complete button.
Mr. Resty, sir, no. So if the program chairs don't need to click the complete button, because at the point of their approval, that is the end of their process. The next step is that the process will go back to the routing, so that their team can execute the needed changes or the needed updates in terms of the approved requested changes in their courses, whether it's adding, changing, or adding, dropping, or changing of the schedule. So it would be the routing who would be the one to tag who would be tagging the request as complete.
Thank you, Jan. So yeah, I think my answer also was no, but I started to doubt myself. Pero kasi nga, like in the list of the steps that I made, wala yung step na yon. So you should not press that button. So just to show once again, once you're already in this page or on this page, you click on the ellipsis button, click details, read the details, the information. If it is correct, then you press approve. If it's not correct, you reject the application by clicking mark as invalid. So for example, for this one, I will mark this as invalid, or I will reject it. I will say rejected because of yada, 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 yada. Okay, I'll press save, and then that's it. Okay, there are no other actions required from me. Okay. For the second student, let's say click ellipsis, details, and then I'll press approve this time. I will place here as a remark, approved, click save, and that's the end of it. Okay. Next question, raising their hands, we have Miss Indo.
Sorry naman, makulit. Carmi, correct me if I'm wrong. Kunyari, in-advise ko na yung si student. So, ito yung mga titake mo this semester. Irregular siya. Okay. So, once she logs into her CAMU, she will have to choose the courses na in-advise ko sa kanya. Kunwari, PathFit 3, ARTA 1, ETPM 101, ETPM ganyan. And then, yung going back to the question na yung full irregular student siya, so hindi siya magiging regular, hindi siya magiging enrolled status, di ba? Or registered status before siya maka-add.
Wala
Tama
pa po, Miss Indo. Yes po. Bale po, after po ng inyong approval, so
Oo.
by that time, mapopost na po yun as the registered courses. And then once they pay na po yung tuition, they will be tagged as enrolled.
Okay. Sige. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Miss Indo. Doc Yale, you're next.
Yes, a little bit related kay question of Miss Indo. So when we advise them face to face, the students are going to now open their Kamu, encode or whatever, select the courses that we talked about. Hindi nila mapipindot ba yung mga courses na hindi dapat nilang kunin? It's not clickable for them, or will they have parang alam mo yon, parang di mo naman in-advise pero kinlik nila. So paano na namin masasabi na hindi yan yung in-advise ko sa'yo?
Bale, all courses offered po for the second semester is open.
Yes.
Bale po, if the students click po or choose po yung mga courses na hindi nyo po in-advise, nasa end nyo na po yun to disapprove po yung request. So from there po, may magpa-prompt po kay student na na-reject niyo po yung request. So it means po na may mali po dun sa na-request po nila na courses to take. And then they need to request again.
Okay.
Ganun
So
po
kung
yung
naka-F
process.
sila, naka-INC sila, the platform will show us na pwedeng clickable yon.
Bali po, from their end po, once na-click po nila yung course, there will be, from what I remember po, kindly correct me if I'm wrong, from the ICT and Kami, kapag kinlik nila yung course, but meron po siyang prereq or naka-INC po sila, hindi po nila mapipili yung course. Tama po ba?
Hi, Mr. Ray, let me support that. That's correct, ma'am. No, so if there will be any prerequisites that were not met by the student, or if any for the course. But to add to that, ma'am, I think another question is if the student selects, or if the student can select a course that was not advised to them. So the answer to that, ma'am, is that it's possible. So in Kamu, if the subject is offered and if the subject is part of the student's curricula, then they would be able to see that as part of the subjects that they can select and register for. However, the process there is once they have selected that subject, it would undergo your approval as well, and you have the decision on whether to approve or deny that request based on what you have advised on that.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc Yale. Miss Cherry.
Related po sa question ni Doc Gail, yun nga, no? So let's say, meron na pindot yung, nilagay yung student na mali. But looking at the form kasi also, di ba sabi natin that they can put all the requests in one form. So ibig sabihin, in one form, halimbawa, merong yung first request, approved, second request, reject. You reject everything. Uulitin nila lahat. Tama ba? Kasi isa lang yung approval button. It's going to approve for everything.
Yes po.
Okay.
not siguro a strategy that we can do there, si Jack po ulit ito, a strategy that we can do there is that as part of the remarks that you will be giving in the approval, you can indicate, so for example, no, there will be 3 subjects that they would be requesting for addition. Only 2 out of 3 will be approved. Then I guess my recommendation here is to indicate what those 2 subjects are that were up for approval by you, and then indicate as well one that is rejected. But still, the request would still be tagged as approved. So it will be part of your decision, or the next steps will be part of the remarks that you will be giving for execution of the routing.
Baka po pwede magawa ng suggestion for improvement ng system. Baka po pwedeng per item, meron kang remarks para they would know na itong added course 1 approve, pero or this is okay, or yung isa reject because ganyan. This is not what we talked about. Baka po pwedeng mapagdagdag in the future. Yun lang po. Thank you.
Sige, noted on that po. This is Jazz from IT. But I agree with the suggestion, no? If there are 3 requests and then let's say 2 were approved and then 1 would be rejected, go ahead and approve it. But in the comment section, note that 1 was denied. Anyway, it's going through the RAW after you have submitted it. And then they'll be the ones to actually complete the transaction. Para hindi na rin po pabalik-balik yung student na magsasubmit na naman ng isa pang service request if it's denied. Kung isa lang naman po dun sa 3 na ni-request ang denied. But we will take a note of your suggestion po in terms of having the comment section in each of the field boxes po. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Cherry, for that wonderful suggestion. Yan. Let's go to the chat box muna. Sir Mon and Doc Lea, hold on for a moment. We have 2 questions from Ms. Mitch. Will we use Kamuna for this semester? Because I advised the courses of the UG yesterday by SDMS. Thank you po. Someone from RAW can answer that question.
Hello, Dr. Resty. With regard po dun sa concern ng mismatch, bali po, unfortunately, since na we're leaning towards using the Tamong system, so bali po parang hindi na po muna natin gagamitin yung advising na ginawa sa SDMS.
Thank you, Carmi. I think that's clear. We will not be using any more SDMS this semester. Another question from Ms. Mitch. Some students would like to take electives outside the home department. For example, a comm student would like to take an elective from psych. How will we know which ones are open for other courses? Or if prerequisite course siya and they cannot proceed?
With regard naman po sa elective po, we have a sheet po, Ms. Chua, that has been shared to all the program chairs. So you can check on it kung ano po yung mga courses na offered from different departments, and then you can communicate it with your students. In adding naman po the electives, they can communicate directly with the registrar's office, or you can send us the list of those students who will going to get the electives, enable for us to add directly the course to the portal of the student. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Carmi. So if I understood that correctly, no, all the chairpersons have a list of the curriculum of all the programs that we're offering. Tama ba?
Yes, po.
Okay. Sige. We have one question from Ms. Candy. Ms. Candy said, what happens if complete is accidentally clicked? Because it happens. Ito naman, di ba? Can someone from RAW undo it?
Hi, Sir Leslie. So, ma'am, good morning. Right now, there is no way for once the request is closed, there is currently no way to take that back, no? So, kumbaga, it's like we're saying that the na-close na natin yung cycle ngayon. So, what we can do as part of the kumbaga remediation na lang dito is for us to inform the RAW team that you have accidentally closed this particular request so that they can still perform the needed adjustments to the schedules.
Thank you, Jan, for the answer. And then, okay, we now proceed to Sermon's question. Hi, Sermon.
Hello. Hello. Ayan. My question is about also related to Doc Gales and Miss Cherry's concern, no, regarding dun sa nakikita nilang mga courses. I wonder if it Kamu prevents students from requesting for additional subjects, especially kung medyo overload na siya. Tama ba? Kaya niya bang kung overload na yung student?
Sige. Hi sir, good morning. Si Jan po ulit. So let me take that on, no? So through this services module, there is hindi po natin natatrack, no, if the student is already registering beyond the recommended number of units po sa kanila. So even if they are even if pa-overload na yung registered subjects nila, that currently that will not be handled by the system or by this module for the service request. However, sir, later as the next part of the training is there will be a separate module wherein you will use as program chairs, wherein you will be able to approve and request as well the initial registration of subjects of students. These are not the adding and dropping. So these are the initial registration. So during the initial registration of students, when they select their subjects, overloading will also be considered. So they will be limited to the recommended number of units that is configured in the system. So let me know, sir, if you have any further clarifications on that.
So right now, pwedeng let's say trigger happy yung student mag-add ng subjects. Pwede lang gawin yun.
During using the service request, sir, that is possible. Yes, there is no currently there is no limitation in terms of the number of requests that they can send. However, in the enrollment module that we will be discussing later, that there is controls on that.
Okay, and that module will in the future prevent them from doing that mistake?
Siguro, sir, one clarification that I have there is limiting the number of requests that they can send a viable option for us. So let's say, for example, they can only send a maximum of 2 requests.
Hindi, kasi ang point dyan is that's a unnecessary task for the chair, diba? We will disapprove the request because of those errors, diba? So that's hindi namin na kailangan siyang isipin sana, diba? Get the program be smart enough to know ano yung kailangan lang talaga ng estudyante. Kasi itong proseso naman na ito is ang purpose lang niya ay makahabol yung student kung gusto niyang graduate. Tama ba? Graduate or makatapos siya on time or maging regular siya. Diba? So, yun na naman ang point dyan eh. So, why do we allow the system to make the users to have mistakes like that? Kasi nga, kung may mga courses na hindi pala pwede i-take, tapos naka-display siya, unnecessary yung request na kailangan pang asikasuhin ng chair. Tama ba?
So for this module kasi sir, it's more of yung mga adding and dropping of subjects, no? So we are assuming here that the initial registration has already been completed. It's just after all, there will be additional subjects or there will be a reduction of classes on the student side. So I'm just not sure, sir, in terms of the volume of requests that are coming in on your end, no? Baka, ayun, kasi possible nga tama kayo that there will be an influx of requests that will be coming in from you, tapos magiging, ano siya, kumbaga, parang magiging additional task siya talaga for you. So, right now, sir, I guess what I'm saying is wala tayong ano, what you are mentioning na yung controls based on whether the number of units of the student, kung mag-overload siya. So right now, we don't have that kind of control, is what we are saying po. Pero that is noted, sir, that maybe we can look into it for future for future updates of the system.
Yeah, kasi it's no different to the current process. There's no improvement at all kung sakaling gano'n. Kasi ano siya, di ba? Mas lalo pang mamamali. Whereas kasi yung paper form that we do, we can really advise a student, oh, ito yung sinasagutan namin mga forms, nakakausap namin mismo si student na, oh, sobra ka na, hindi ka talaga pwede. Di ba? Huwag mo nang ituloy yung balak mo. Pero sige, okay. Sige, for now, that's it. Sige, thank you.
Thank you, Sir Mon, for the suggestions. I think Miss Sally.
Yeah. Hi, Sir Resi, and everyone. Regarding the adding and dropping, it first come to the registrar's office. So, nire-review muna nila before it will be forwarded to the chair. So, meaning, the registrar will then see kung mag-overload na ba yung student or not. I-review pa naman nila before i-approve ng chair. So, I think, yun yung control natin so that the student cannot add more subjects dun sa kanyang enrolled subjects for the semester.
So just to add lang po, no, dun sa sinabi ni Ms. Sally, we're also basing the approval po sa approved policies po ng higher management. So from there po, makita naman po namin if students are really allowed to take additional courses po. Thank you po.
Thanks everyone for replying. We now proceed to Doc Leia.
Good morning. Kasi if you would remember sa SDMS, very clear naman doon, pag kinlik mo siya, meron nakalagay na maximum, especially sa irregular, say 12 units. Kahit mag-click kami ng other subjects for them to take, hindi na siya kasi from our end, kasi alam namin, nag-automatic siya na 12 lang maximum. So, is there a mechanism within that, na even if the students requested it, since notwithstanding sa raw muna, kasi dun nga sa SDMS, nakalagay na dun yung maximum units na pwede nilang kunin. So that's the first question. Wala ba siya dito naka-embed na, say, pag irregular ka, ito lang, 12 units. So, nakikita na kaagad ng chair before mag-approve or disapprove. That's one thing. Kasi mabibilang mo eh. And then second question ko po, doon sa approval nyo at saka doon sa mark as invalid, why don't you put numbers? Kunyari, approve request 1, change number 2, number 3, number 4, ganun din sa invalid. Para yung remarks mo will coincide na hindi na nga siya malilito. Kasi right there, may numbering naman eh. So, adding subject number 1 request. So, kung nandun siya sa approval na 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or something, or invalid, makikita na doon sa result ng estudyante kung alin talaga yung na-approve. So, I suggest, kahit na hindi siya isa-isahin mo siya sa taas, maybe doon sa approval buttons nyo, merong 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe that could be easier for us. Kasi, for example, kanina ang sabi niya, mas marami yung na-approve sa disapprove. What if isa lang ang na-approve, yung iba na disapprove? So, ganun din, magre-remarks ka din. So, hindi ko rin pwedeng malagay na approve kasi isa lang yung na-approve out of 3 requests. So, kung titingnan mo siya, baliktarin natin yung scenario.
So, Ms.
Kaya
Lei,
yung in-approve, kasi 3 out of 2 out of 3.
So,
Diba?
yes, I agree naman po with you, no? There can be cases wherein mas madami nga po yung na-disapprove ninyo versus na-approve ninyo, no? However, i-align ko lang din po, ma'am, ha? So, during your advising process po kasi, the students will not go directly to this. So this process po is the adding and dropping of subjects na after the initial registration nila. So there will be another process that we will be discussing later para so that we can show you as well that after you have advised the student already, makikita nyo rin what are the subjects that they have selected and whether align po ba siya doon sa in-advise nyo sa kanila or hindi. And that is where your recommendations will come in, no? Na per each subject that they have listed or that they have requested, or that they have registered. For each subject that they have registered, you will have control on what will be approved and will be registered to them, and what will be declined or rejected. So, ayun po. This is just this is just the continuing process for any succeeding changes after their initial registration po. So,
hindi naman po kasi lahat ng estudyante ganun kababait eh. Meron talaga po makukulit.
Ganda ng view dito. Gusto.
Opo. So, ano po yung ipipindutin
The mini
na
points.
buttons? So,
Yes.
do we say 2 out of 3 ay disapprove, pero approve yung isa. So, ano yung pipindutin natin na button? Is it approve or disapprove?
Sige.
Yun po
okay,
yung...
John, let me respond. So, Ms. Leia, for the ease of the student not resending a request, kung may na-approve po kayo, ang suggestion ko po, as I mentioned earlier, i-approve nyo po kahit isa lang. Tapos dun sa comment po, i-note nyo na lang kung ano
yung mga disapprove. Okay.
Opo. Kasi after you have completed that process, ang bato po niyan is sa registrar. Sila po ang ulit nun, magko-complete ng transaction, and then magno-notify po dun sa student kung ano lang po yung na-approve.
Okay. Next po yung isang question. Anyway, para isang ano na lang din po ako. Doon sa GP, sa grad, kasi yun yung marami talaga akong students. So, when do they initialize kasi they would be categorized as irregular students. So, will they be informed? How would they know that they will be, registering as irregular students? So, tapos yung advising po kasi, online, I did it already since December. Nag-online kami yung by online consultation. So alam na nila. Pero ang point is, when do they initialize? And how do they initialize the whole process if they are considered to be regular students? So yun, how do they do it? Kasi tinatanong na nila sa akin ngayon.
Ay, Doc, bale po, for the information po ng calendar of activities ng Registrar's Office, we've already posted this one po sa social media accounts natin nung November pa. Pero this morning po, nag-send po ulit ako ng information na the enrollment po and registration will start po tomorrow for the regular and January 9 naman po for irregular. Nag-send na po kami ng email. Regarding naman po dun sa on how they will be using the system, tatapusin lang po namin itong hands-on workshop with Dr. Resli. And then po, we will finalize everything and isisend na rin po namin yung link and the user guide sa mga students po. We're able for them to know na on how to use the Kamo po.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Carmi.
Thank you, Doc Lea, for all your questions and also for your suggestions. It's good that the Kamo team is here so they can take note of all our suggestions. Let's go now to the chat box. Si Ms. Lorna, you lowered your hand already. Ms. Lorna, wala ka na pong questions?
Nasagot na po along the way. Salamat.
Thank you, Ms. Lorna. Sa chat box po muna tayo. from Sir James, will there be manpower support during the enrollment and advising period?
Yeah, hi, Sir Resty. I think we've mentioned in our previous session then, no, the CAMU and ITSM team will be available for the next 2 weeks. They're actually here in our office. So if there are any concerns, we'll be supporting, of course, the registrar's office and the finance office as well for the enrollment this week. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jazz. From Doc Giorgio, are graduate students fully informed of this new setup? Carmi? Ms. Carmi, can you answer Doc Giorgio's question?
Dr. Gail, sorry. Sorry po everyone. To tell you honestly, I'm on leave today. But sige po. Can I ask again po kung ano po yung question, Dr. Gail?
Question ito ni Doc Giorgio. Are graduate students fully informed of this setup?
Not yet po, Doc. Kasi we're still finalizing everything. But we will make sure po na within the day, we will be sending out all information materials po to the UG and CP students po natin. And of course, to our newly accepted applicants and readmitted students. I've already emailed all of the students from the last sem earlier this morning. And some of them already have questions, but I've already answered them naman po. With regard naman po sa kamo, lahat naman po kami is naka-ready po to answer all their concerns and questions po. Thank you po.
Thank you, Ms. Carmi. Question from Doc Gale. So for every student,
Sir, I will withdraw my my comment. I think they will still discuss the actual enrollment, no? And this is adding and dropping lang naman eh.
thank you, Doc Gale. Thank you, everyone, for your questions and for to Rao and ITSM and ICTO for responding to the questions. Sige. So let's have a short recap of the process on adding or dropping subjects. So first, you log into your account and this should show up. This window will show up. You click on services. When you click on the services button, a sub-menu will appear. You click on service requests. And then this new window will appear. No, not new window. This information will appear. You click on my list. And then when you click on my list, only the relevant applications that you can approve or reject will show up. And then you click on the ellipsis button for one student. This is what we call the details button as well. This sub-menu will appear. You click on the details button. And then all the pieces of information related to the application will come up. Review the details of the application, and then you decide whether to approve or reject the application. When you click the mark as invalid button, that's equivalent to rejecting the application. And then don't forget to add a comment when in the next window that will appear. There's also a hack here. Hindi naman hack, a pro tip. You can use the search box here on top to look for a specific student. So if you have plenty of applications to approve and you want to look up like the application of a specific student, then you can just use the search box. Yeah. Sige. Are there any questions so far? Hopefully, wala na po munang questions. But if you have any questions, please raise your hand and unmute your microphone. Yes, Doc Otto.
Hey, sir. So just to clarify, we can already use our account. We'll just have to change the password after this training.
That's right po. Your accounts are live already and you can use the live demo site. We're not using the demo site anymore. This is the true, real, and alive site.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doc Olive. Yeah. So let's proceed to the next feature that we will be using, and this is relevant to the applications of graduate students. Okay, how do we approve student enrollment? This is for irregular students, and which is also true for graduate students because they will be tagged as irregular. So for irregular students, they will be initiating the action. They apply to the courses that they want to be enlisted in. And then the application goes straight to you as the chair. And then you can perform two actions only, whether to reject the application because something is wrong with the form or because of other information like there are prerequisites or maximum number of units that they haven't considered, etc. Or if everything is in place or in order, you can approve the application. That's the end of the journey of the student's application for approving their enrollment. So let's also simulate this process. The process is like this. Of course, you need to log into your Kamo account first. You now proceed to the academic plan menu. Then click enrollment approval. You have to use filters this time related to the college and the program that you're handling. You click on the search button, and then you click the checkbox of the student you wish to perform action on. And then you click the action button, whether to approve or reject the application. And you can also use the search box to find a student. So this is the list of the process, but I'm going to show it to you as well. Let's try it out using my account. So once again, what's the first step? The first step is to log in. So naka-log in na ako to my account. If you click the academic plan button here on the left side of the window, academic plan, and then click enrollment approval. So you scroll downwards. Where is it? Here, enrollment approval. Click that button, and then you will use these filters. So sige, i-reset ko siya muna. Reset all the filters. The university is, of course, MC Loyola Heights, HTU. The course that I'm not a chair, by the way, so this is just dummy data that I'm working on. The college will be MCQC graduate program. And then for the program, the dummy data for me appears in the Master of Education here. So you can type the program title, and then the list will automatically be filtered according to the words you typed. So in this case, Master of Education, okay, in curriculum teaching with specialization in 21st century learning, and then you press search. Okay. So here, for my account, there are 4 dummy applications that I can approve. So the next step that I need to do is to click on the button here, click the button, and then you click this button, new action, and then there you will see whether to approve or reject the application. So for this sample student, I will be selecting approve, and then that's it. Okay, the name of the student is already gone from this list. For the next student, let's say I will reject it. Then that's it. Okay, can you try it out on your specific accounts, please? And if you have any questions, just raise your hand. If you were able to follow the steps, please give me a thumbs up. So I know if you were able to follow.
Sir Resty.
So si Miss Lorna confirmed that she was able to follow the steps. Anyone else?
Sir Resty, I just have a quick question.
Sige po, Miss Ito.
Dito sa dummy data, may nakalagay na a cancellation. Tama, diba? Yan o.
Yes, Miss Indo.
Okay.
My cancellation, my enrollment. Okay.
Thank you.
So here you'll see applied for example, this student, it says cancellation. So she's applying that this course be removed from her list. And if I want to approve her request for that course to be removed from her list of courses, then I will approve her request for cancellation. Then her name is gone. Okay. Yes, Miss April.
Hi, sorry. Ibig sabihin ba nito, per student, kunwari 10 yung, 7 yung courses niya, 7 times mag-a-appear yung name niya, tas 1 course per line, per row.
I think that will be the case. Tama ba? ICTO, ITSM?
Hi, Sir Resty, let me answer that. Yes, that's correct. Also, for each student, let's say, for example, 7 po yung 7 subjects yung i-register ni student, then there will be 7 line items as well, indicated po ano yung course, and it's indicated as applied for enrollment. And for any cases wherein drop within nasa enrollment period pa sila and they would want to drop some subjects, then it will be indicated as for cancellation naman po. So, for each subject, individual line item.
So Miss April, yes, for every student, there will only be 1 application and 1 course. So if one student needs to apply or to be enlisted in 3 subjects, then you will see 3 applications from that student. Hi, Doc Gail.
Yeah, so that means her name, like an email, will appear 3 times, or does her name appear only once, but when you click on her, those 3 items will show?
Hi, ma'am. Let me answer that po. So in the list, you would be able to see the student's name 3 times. So yeah, you would see the name of the student 3 times. So indicating the different subjects, indicating the 3 different subjects that they are registering for.
So this is like 3 different transactions, no? But I suppose it doesn't enter all at the same time. Sometimes when she's doing 1 transaction, another student can come in and also, but like an email, di ba? Halo-halo yon. Meron from student A, B, tapos balik sa A, tapos B,
Yes.
and then a student F. Ganyan ba yung makikita namin sa screen?
Yes, that's correct, ma'am. So, in terms of the kita, 1 student lang po yung ginamit namin, but that's correct, ma'am. So, this screen will show you different students. If all of your students will come in and select their subjects already, the order of the table can vary or will vary based on the order of requests that will be coming in as well. Our recommendation here, ma'am, is to use the search bar to search specifically for which student you would want to manage, so that all of the requests for that particular student will be pulled up in the table in just one view, so that you won't be confused as well, including or so that the table will not include any other students as well. So let me know.
Yes, thank you for that tip, no? Kasi if not, parang imagine ko na yung ulo namin medyo jumbled yon. Or is it suggesting that per student, kailangan may master copy ka ng academic history ng student na yun? So you always keep on cross-checking? Ganun ba?
Sir Resty, if I remember correctly from your first session, there are some items that you are recommending for the program chairs to have in their person, no, during the process, tama po ba ako? And part of which is yung, kumbaga, the academic history of the student. Is that correct?
Yes po. Yes po. Yes, Doc Gail.
So
Kailangan
that is
po.
per student. If we have 200 students, so kailangan always available physically yung 200 students' academic history nila so that we can always cross-check. Parang ganyan ba?
But let me clarify as well, ma'am. So the subjects that will be coming into this through this screen are only those that they would be eligible to register for. So this means this already removes the subjects that they have already completed and subjects that they are still not eligible for based on their prerequisites. So at this point, only those subjects that they are eligible for, and at the same time, this screen will also take into consideration as well the number of units allowed for the student to register. So there are already
Okay, got that. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc Gil. Reg, you're next.
Yes, good morning po. This is for the GP program. So in our SDMS, the first step for coordinators is to actually do the advising. So we would be clicking what we would be advising to the student, which they would be registering and enrolling for. So in this particular system na po, wala na po yun. Tama po ba? Ang makikita na lang po namin ay yung in-enroll na ng student na hindi na kami magsa-start ng process. Tama po ba?
That is possible, sir. Tama po kayo. So based on the process that has been discussed with the registrar's office, so ganun po yung magiging process natin, no? Now, it will be the students who would be initiating the process, and they would be selecting which subjects they would wish to register for the current semester. So if there would be any adjustments or any changes in terms of the requested subject ng mga students natin, it's still possible for you, sir, to go to the student's record itself and do the registration in behalf of the student, or do the plotting of the subjects in behalf of the student. That's still possible. But right now, in terms of the process, we are giving the students the whole look in terms of selecting their subjects as subject to your approval.
Okay.
So
Follow up lang po, no? Kasi doon sa SDMS, nililimit na namin yung pwede nilang i-enroll. So for instance, in a graduate program, there are 8 course offerings. Ang i-advise sa kanila ay 4 for the semester. So yung 4 lang na yon ang pwede nilang i-enroll. So ibig po bang sabihin dito sa KAMU, yung 8 course offerings for the semester, lahat yon ay nakikita na ng students at makiklik na ng students?
That is correct, sir, as long as the subject is in the curriculum of the student and it is offered for the current semester, all of those 8 subjects will be visible and can be selected by the student. Should there be any so that's possible, sir. Pero kung sakali naman, if there would be any exceptions like what I mentioned earlier, possible naman, sir, for you for the program chair to make those necessary changes kung sakali na you don't want them to register for this particular subject and redirect them to another course, then you will also be able to do that as well.
Okay, sige. Thank you.
Sir Romel?
Yeah. Regarding dun sa kay Ms. Gail, yung concern niya about student information, yung like the transcript of the students, kung ano yung mga nakuha niya. For now, you could, pwede kayo sa SDMS, kasi hindi naman natin ida-down yung SDMS. All the grades are there. If you have access to the student's evaluation or yung sa advising module nyo, di ba, nandun naman din yung grades. Yun nga lang, sa susunod na semester, wala na sa SDMS yung, yung the grades that were taken for the second semester. But for now, you can have your reference doon sa SDMS. Because we have migrated naman all the grades of the students to KAMU as of today, January 7. So yun nga lang, yung mga hindi pa na-approve for the first semester, yung hindi pa na-post for the first semester, hindi pa siya nasasama. Thank you.
Thanks, Sir Romel, for the clarification. Jan, would you like to say something?
None so far, sir. We'll just wait for the questions for our end.
Okay. Let's go to the chat box. There are plenty of questions in the chat box. From Doc Olive, will the dummy data be removed once actual data from our GP students come in?
Hi, Sir Resty. This is Jazz. Actually, I would like to recommend for everyone to wait until tomorrow morning to use the system, because we have to clean up all of the dummy data that were entered for the purpose of the workshop, so that at least po clear yung mga data na nasa Kamo system when you log in tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jess, for the advice. So once again, please wait until tomorrow morning before accessing the Kamo website so that they can clean the dummy data that were placed in your accounts. Doc Leia, you have a question?
Yeah, kasi I think they were mentioning that grades that were approved already tawag dito, uploaded to the Kamo. However, sa GP kasi was extended up to January 9. So, paano po yan? Kasi yung iba talagang they will wait until the end to encode the grades. Yun nga po kasi as much as I want to, lahat naman araw-araw kinukulit, pero they would want, of course, they gave students some more time to finish the capstone project. So I think yun yung problem namin for now for the GPs, that because we're still waiting for the other professors to encode the grades. Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll be migrating it then.
Okay. So yun nga yung hindi pa sila nag-encode eh.
Oo.
Sorry kasi hindi ko rin mapilit as much as araw-araw kung kinukulit. So pag-check ko, ala pa din. Pero kasi sabi nila, ma'am, hindi pa po deadline. So wala akong masabi. So
Yes. So,
kasi naglagay kayo dun sa SDMS na until ganito. Siyempre, nilulubos ng iba. I'm sure naintindihan nyo naman yung mga faculty natin. So,
that's right. But we also have to have a deadline. So
yeah, that's why yun na nga.
We'll be asking Rao kung anong deadline ang sinet nila sa SDMS, and then
9, I think 9 or 11 something So 9 I think. So parang nahirapan din kami kasi sasabihin nila hindi pa deadline. Actually yun ang mga sinasagot sa akin. Ba't ko kinukulit? Matagal pa yung deadline. Ngayon, nagkukulitin ko ulit sila. Pero sana meron kaming backup ng RAW na hindi na makaka-enroll mga students if they did not submit.
Yeah, may I ask, when would be the start of the GP registration?
9.
Sa 9. So that means before the 9th po, dapat talaga na-up na yung mga,
Yun nga. So, because you told me that, mamaya, oras-oras, kulitin ko sila. Kasi mababait yung faculty na gusto nila ay end of the...
Okay, sige.
So, thank you. I just want to know that kasi mahirap mag-decide kung meron tayong sinet up na deadlines and then you cannot comply with the deadlines. And at least in our end na pag sinabing 9 sila. So I would say na sana before 9 mai-submit nila. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Clea. Sir Mon has a question. Is the student enrollment approval page for student advising?
Sorry, can the question be repeated? Can you scroll up? For the enrollment.
Sir Jan?
Sorry, sir. The question is from Sir Mon, right? Is the student
That's right.
approval for student advising only? That's correct, sir. It's more of a confirmation from your end that you are allowing the students to register to this particular subject. So in effect, yes. So yes, this is for student advising.
Thank you. Sir Jan? Sir Mon?
Yes, baka related rin kasi yung tanong namin ni Miss Indo, I guess. Kasi yun nga, I'm wondering kasi if this will also for regular students. Kasi yun na nga, that will be a lot.
For regular students naman, sir, there will be a different process for them as since they are still under a block section, so it would be the route team who would be doing the registration on their behalf. So they have already identified the subjects, and then they would be the one to do the registration. So it would only be the regular students who would be able to, or who we are expecting to undergo this process.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Indo, is your question, I think your question has been answered already.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Indo. One last question from Doc Olive. For GP students, there will be two main steps. First, we approve the subjects they're adding under the process service request. Then we go to enrollment approval and approve the added subjects. Is this process correct?
Sir Leslie, we would just have to flip the sequence of the process. So during the enrollment period, the program chairs will go to enrollment approval so that they can approve or reject subjects of the students that they have selected for. So after the registration process, I believe come next week, it would be the period for adding and dropping of subjects. That is now when the program chairs will be using the service module so that they would be able to manage the request for adding, dropping, or changing of subjects that will be requested by the students. So let me know if you have any clarifications on that.
Jan, all GP students are considered irregular.
Yes, that is correct, as mentioned by Ms. Carmine. So with that effect, they would also undergo this process of them selecting their subjects. Yes.
Doc Olive, is everything okay? Doc Olive, go ahead.
Sorry, to clarify kasi yun nga, since irregular students yung GP, we would have to add the subjects first and approve them. So I'm wondering, kasi this is what we discussed earlier, no? We started with the process service request. So started out with the students adding the subjects, and then the chairs will approve them. And then once the subjects have been approved, do we then go to the enrollment approval and approve the added subjects? Because if the subjects haven't been added yet, then we have nothing to approve in the enrollment approval for grad students.
Okay. So for this, ma'am, during the initial registration, the students will be already selecting their subjects, and you would be approving them through this screen that we are in right now, the enrollment approval. So at the initial point of the process, you would be able to select for each subject whether you would be approving that or rejecting that. Then at a later point, during the adding, dropping, or changing of the subjects, that is when we would be going to the initial process that we have discussed earlier, wherein you would have to approve using the service module, and it would be the registrar team who would be executing those changes. And I think Ms. Sally is raising her hand as well. Ms. Sally, if you can add something to what I have mentioned, please listen. Thank you.
Ms. Sally, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Sir Jan. Miss Olive, actually the process is that yung GP students ninyo will select the subjects that they need to register. Then papasok yun then sa student enrollment approval ninyo. Then i-approve ninyo yon. Then that's the time na makakapag-register na yung ating mga GP students. Then if ever after their registration, nagbayad na sila, officially enrolled na, may naiwan pa silang isang subject that they need to add, that's the time that they need to use the service request for adding of subject. So hindi po mauuna diyan hindi mauuna yung adding and dropping. Ang mauuna po muna is that mag-enlist yung student natin, yung GP students, yung irregular students ng subjects to be registered, and then you will approve, and then after your approval, the student will process their registration and then pay their tuition fee, And then afterwards, if there are subjects that needs to be added or subjects that they decided to drop, that's the only time that they need to use the service request for adding or dropping of subject. I hope okay na clear po tayo doon.
Yes,
Thank
Miss
you.
Ali, thank you so much. Thank you po.
Thank you, Doc Ollie, for your question, and Miss Sally and Sir Jan for the answers. One last question from Miss Mitch. Will there be a guide or video tutorial for all faculty to access their class lists by Monday so that they can start adding students to their Canvas course titles? Thank you. This is for all faculty. Anyone from ICTO?
Hi, Sir Resty. We'll work with the ITSM team to provide the guide by this week po. And we'll send it to you, or we can send it to the group so that they have the copy of the guide. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jazz. Once again, I think the class list, yeah, so that the teachers can start adding students to their Canvas courses. Thank you, everyone. Other questions? Going, and gone. Sige. So I would just like to reiterate tong pro tip that I placed in the chat box. So unfortunately, I only have one student left to approve here, but if you have a lot of students to approve, you can search for the name of that student using the search box here, and then all the applications from that student will appear here. You can click the checkbox beside their name, and then in one bulk action, you can perform the action that you want, whether to approve the application or reject the applications. Yeah. Sige. Okay. So let's have a recap of what happened in this part of the module. To approve the enrollment of irregular students. So first you log into your account, and then you click academic plan. A submenu will appear. For some of you, you need to scroll down. You click on enrollment approval, and then this window or this information will come out. You need to use the filters to select the college and the program under which your the courses that you can, or the applications that you can approve, will come out. Don't forget to click the search button, and then if there are pending applications, the pending applications will populate the screen, and then you can click on, if there are applications within those filters, then they will show up here. And then you click the checkbox beside a student's name, and then you click the action button here on top, and then select whether to approve or reject the application. As a pro tip, you can also use the search box to look up for a specific student, and then approve or reject the applications, all the applications from that student in one bulk approval or rejection. Yeah. Are there any questions related to that part of Ms. Candy has a question. Can the video tutorial for students be also shared with the chairs or faculty? Yes, Ms. Candy. I think those videos will be shared with me as well, and I will be putting them up in the Google Classroom, the resource bank, and you can access the resource bank, all the videos, including the handout from today's discussion. Are there any other questions? We're very sorry for taking an extra 45 minutes of your time, but if you don't have any other questions, I have two homework for all of you. The first one is please change your password after this session. And please peruse the handout and the recording of today's session, which will be made available in Guro's Google Classroom. If you are not yet a member of Guro's Google Classroom, or the resource bank, you can click the link to the Google Classroom. The link to the Google Classroom is placed in the chat box. And then we have 2 upcoming events. A registration is required for the Canvas hands-on workshop this coming Saturday. We made this a Saturday so that we can encourage the participation of our part-time teachers. So please encourage your part-time faculty to attend this workshop. And on January 19, we'll have a session on the blended learning approach to be facilitated by Mr. Ryan Londo. And with that, we end today's session. Please fill out the class not found. Sir Reg, you can, if it says class not found, that means you are using a Google account that is not your Knoller account. So you can only access the Guro Resource Bank using your Knoller account. So if you're let me check. Yeah, it leads me to the correct it leads me to the correct Google Classroom, Sir Reg. Sige. Or you can use this code, sorry. You can use this Google Classroom code here. This is the classroom code PRUQXNU3. Thank you, Reg. And may I request for your kind evaluation of today's event. Please access the evaluation form using the QR code on the screen or by accessing the Google form by clicking the link that I placed in the chat box. Marami pong salamat. And if you have any concerns related to the use of Kangoo, related to your account, that would please send your questions to the ICTO. If you have any questions related to the enrollment process itself, please send your questions to the RAW. I will try my best to help you, but my knowledge is only limited to the process of approving and rejecting the applications. So let me know how I can help by sending me an email. Marami pong salamat and I'll see you around. Goodbye, everyone. Feel free to unmute your microphone to say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you po. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Salamat. Bye.
Happy lunch po.